Hi, so my name is Jennifer Walker, and today, for the purpose of this presentation, I want to talk to you about math apps and digital games in the classroom. So let's get started. First of all, let's look at our objective. We will look at 3 math apps and explore what research says about their use in the classroom. We will explore criteria for identifying if a math app is effective for you in your classroom. So before we get started, I wanted to kind of do an activity with everyone. And obviously we're not in a classroom, so you guys can't do this activity, but I wanted to go ahead and share it with you. I just kind of wanted to get our minds thinking about how we use apps on a daily basis, so why not use them in our classroom too? So the app that we use for this activity is Padlet. It's one of my favorite ones. I've actually had the opportunity to use it in some of my practicum classrooms. And so I want to ask you 2 questions. What is the app that you use every day? Do you have a favorite app? And then I want you to take a look at your cell phone right now and see how many apps you currently have on your phone. Personal apps, apps that came on the phone, game apps, or apps for education. If you already have Padlet if you already had Padlet and we were in a classroom environment, I'd ask you to go ahead and send your answers up to me. I love the little way that it looks like sticky notes. Or I'd give everyone a few minutes to download Padlet so they could see how easy it is to do. So I had a friend of mine do this with me for this presentation, and some of the answers were that she uses the app Map 360 to keep up with the 2 teenagers that live in her house, so she knows where they are. Also, some of the favorites were note-taking apps. I put on here the I Love My Grocery Buying app. I can kind of pick out what I want for groceries, and 2 hours later, go and pick them up. So after we would do this activity, I'd ask you guys some questions. So let's go over those. Was using this app helpful? Apps are wonderful tools, but we want to make sure when we use that app, specifically when we use math apps in the classroom, are they helping us? Are they helping students reach their learning goals, or they're helping teachers add something to their lessons? Also, did it allow us to share ideas and information effectively and quickly? We want a classroom environment where students can share ideas, where students quickly can get information and share that information. And then, did this app help you become more engaged in the process of this discussion? I would think if we're in a classroom environment right now, it'd be much more engaging to send your Post-it up to the screen and answer questions that I've asked than raising your hand and waiting for me to pick you. And plus, it would get everybody involved. Same thing with math apps. So let's dig into those. So for the purpose of this discussion, what I did was I went out and I asked some friends that I have that are already effective teachers in their classrooms. And so I said, what apps do you use and why? So 3 apps came up, and the reasons that they kept coming up was they're interactive, promotes active learning, they engage the students, and supports their learning. So those are the 3 apps we're going to focus on. The first one is Splash Math. The second one is Quick Math Junior. And then the third one is ABCia. So let's find out a little more information about these. So for ABCia, you will notice that there's a QR code right here on the screen, and you can scan that QR code and it will take you to the ABCia website, which tells you much more information about this app and how to download it. But I wanted to share what I thought were some important points that this app has to offer. First of all, you can download it to your iPad or use it on computers. It is free on certain devices. You have to pay for it, I think, on a computer, but you can download it on your phones or on iPads. Has more than 100 math games, and I think what's important is they're sorted by grade. So if you have, if you're teaching first grade and you want to focus on first grade skills, you can just go in there, say first grade, and have all the math games come up that are for first grade. The way this app does it is integrated with the Alabama State Common Core standards. So there's a way that you can go onto this app or to this website and you can actually put in what standard you're focusing on that week in math, in your math instruction. Say you're doing first grade and your standard is counting by twos, then what you can put all that information in there and it will pull out math games for you to consider letting your students use that would meet that criteria. This does help with differentiation through this map. It's not probably as good as some of the differentiation I've seen in some of the other apps, but it is still pretty good. And what you can do is if you have a first grade student who's more still needing to focus on kindergarten math standards, then you can pull those for him. Or if he's already on to second or third grade math standards, you can put that in there and get him to work on that iPad with those games. This does cost a little bit of money for 6-month subscription. You can see right here, it's $7.50, and that does give you up to 5 devices. Also, I really like the themes for ABC, and in the next slide I'm going to show you some of the examples for that. They're very engaging, and I think it's things that students would be interested in. So let's look at those. So an example of a game from ABC is actually one that my first grade practicum class this past semester used, and it's called Slapshot. It's a hockey game. If you have lots of students that are interested in sports, ABC has lots of sports related games, and this is one of many that I wanted to share with you. So what this one does is, of course, it's going to help you with your place values, your hundreds, your tens, and your one value. Up here in this top area, you'll see score report. You can click on that as the teacher, and it's going to give you an up-to-date real-time score report of how well your student did with this particular game. I also wanted to mention, let me go back. I also wanted to mention that the feedback, you're going to hear a lot about feedback. Is it meaningful, positive feedback on apps? And so this app has feedback in the sense that if you get it right, there's a chime, sometimes things flash, there's fun sounds. It doesn't necessarily give you good feedback on this is why you got this problem wrong, but in a minute I will share an app that will give feedback like that. So let's talk about Quick Math Junior. This is a favorite math app for a lot of teachers in kindergarten, first and second grade. Again, there's a QR code right up here that you can scan, and it will take you to the website where I got a lot of this information from. There's more additional information, and it will tell you how to download it. First, before I go into reasons why I think this is a good math app for your classroom, let's watch our video. Okay, so that is a quick overview of Quick Math Junior. So let me share some reasons why I think this is a good quality math app when I was researching it. First of all, it is creative. You'll notice the music is fun, there's vivid colors, there's lots of icons and pictures moving on and off the screen. It is has little monsters that you have to manipulate to help you answer the questions. A fun thing about the monsters is it lets your students create its own monster. Each student actually has their own username and gains access into the game that way, and they have their own little monster that they've created that goes with their username. One of the things that comes out of that I think is so positive about this app is that the teacher can receive a report card on each student. It can tell you where that student is meeting math skills from last week to this week, and how a student may be meeting math skills in just your classroom. Is this student, how are they in compared to another student? And you can even do it grade level, all in first grade. It will also notify, and I think that this is a great idea. We've all been in classrooms before where we have students who may have a hard time staying on task. One of the reasons why some of the teachers have told me they like this app so well is that it'll notify them if a student is working below their target area or above their target area. So say you have a first grade student who's not really feeling like they want to put in a lot of effort to figure out these more complicated math questions, but this is the skill that you need to be working with them. You know that this is where they need to be. So they just go back down to an easier game and play it. Well, you're going to get a notification, however you choose to receive it, your cell phone, your iPad, your laptop, that says, hey, this student has already mastered this level, but they're doing it again. Same thing with if they are trying to go to a harder math skill. And it's going to let you know that they haven't passed this math skill efficiently enough, but they're trying this one. So you're able to intervene at that point so they don't get frustrated and get them back on task of where they need to be working. And then another math app, and we're going to finish out this math app, and then in my next screencast, we're going to talk about the research that I found to support the reasons why I think that these are quality apps. The third one is Splash Math. Splash Math. I always want to say that wrong. I think this one is probably my favorite one. A reason a lot of teachers like Splash Math is that it integrates into curriculum really well. For example, a lot of the schools around where I live use the Go Math program. Splash Math is going to support the Go Math program. It's going to have a lot of the same key elements. It's going to have a lot of the things look the same. So it's easy to use your whole group and your small group Go Math, and then use this app to support that instruction. It's engaging. If you'll look right down here, there's a little hippo guy. I don't know if he has a name or not, but he is super cute. And he will actually give you specific feedback, which is something I like best about this app. He will tell you, good job, that's right, or he will tell you, no, that's not right. But in addition to that, to make the feedback more meaningful, he will tell you what the right answer is and why. This also has a component for teachers to be able to search by standards for each grade level. And it sends out daily reports to let you know where your students are, a daily report of how well they did that day. You can scan this QR code here at the bottom of the screen again, and it's going to take you to the website, and we are going to try to play this video for you before our time runs out.
Welcome to Sponsor.